Respected Principal Dr. Jacob Matthew, the President of the meeting, most respected His Grace Ma Joseph Perindottam, the Archbishop, Patron and Manager of the College, Dr. Benny Matthew, the Vice Principal, Father Sujay John Plathanam, the Coordinator of this international seminar, other distinguished guests, respected fathers, respected sisters, respected teachers, and my dear students. It is a proud occasion for St. Berkman's College to host an international seminar on Syriac in India to honor Ma Matthew Kavgad, the first Archbishop of Changanasheri, venerated by thousands of people, and all the more he was the lecturer in Syriac in the college and hostel warden for more than 8 years. His predecessor, Father Adrian, joined the college as a Syriac lecturer in 1938 when Syriac was offered under Part 2 of the degree course along with Sanskrit in the newly formed Travancore University, to which the college was affiliated. Father Adrian also served the college in constructing Christ the King Chapel, Clerical Hall, St. Thomas and St. Joseph hostels. Then he moved to SH College Tevara to construct the new college building. We thank his venerable service and dedication. Then Father Matthew Kavgad in 1941 was appointed as the lecturer in Syriac, and he served the college as a lecturer and hostel warden for more than 8 years. Then he was appointed as the Bishop of Changanasheri in 1950. Yes, it's a great tribute to the former Syriac lecturer of the college and a great saintly man, and we are happy to have this international seminar in SB College. As I mentioned, Syriac as a second language was offered from 1938 along with Sanskrit, and we know that both are the languages of worship, predominantly even now. Once, Syriac was the mother tongue of lakhs of people and was a major literary language throughout the Middle East, at least from 4th to 8th centuries, and is having a large body of Syriac literature. We have more respect to this language because this was the language spoken by Jesus and the liturgical language of the East Syrian Church, from where Syrian Catholics of Kerala have their lineage. Though started teaching in 1938 in the college, I think this is the first time a Syriac international seminar is organized in the college, and I congratulate Father Sujay John for taking this initiative. Now, let me come to my duty. First of all, I welcome Dr. Jacob Matthew, the principal of the college, and he is presiding the meeting. He is a great man of vision in academic excellence. Though administrative and other issues take much of the time, he is keen on the academic excellence of the college. I welcome you, sir, to this meeting. Archbishop Ma Joseph Perindottam, our Archbishop, patron, and manager of the college. He is known for his passion on Syriac language, liturgy, and traditions. It is his wish that SB Autonomous College should start a PG program in Syriac, and our academic council and governing body has approved this. But due to some technical issues, we are not able to start the course even now. I hope these issues will be cleared soon and shall start the course. Your Grace, the Archbishop, a very hearty welcome to you. I also welcome Dr. Benny Matthew, our Vice Principal, who is also our Academic Council Secretary. Hearty welcome to you, dear sir. Also, I welcome respected fathers, especially Father Thoma Paulos, and dear brothers and respected sister, respected teachers, and other dignitaries. Also, I welcome Father Sujay John Plathanam, who is organizing this seminar. I know he is an ardent lover for this language and its literature and traditions. I hope in his tenure as a teacher of Syriac, this department may flourish well. A very hearty welcome to you, dear Father. Finally, I welcome the students who love this language and its literature. May this day be a fruitful day with exploring the richness of this language, traditions, contributions, and other things. Welcoming you all, I conclude. Thank you.
At the outset, I must confess that I am completely out of this language. I am not at all connected, nowhere connected to the Syriac language in my life. Okay, so I admit that, and so with that limitation, I just share my experience or feelings I have gone through these days. When Father Sujay invited me that, sir, you have to preside this meeting, this international meeting on Syriac in India. Okay. So outside, I must congratulate Father Sujay for organizing this kind of international meeting. In St. Berkman's College, the first time is a history. So actually, Father Sujay is creating a history, moment in the history of St. Berkman's. So as we watched in the title program, see all those Syriac professors actually created history in the St. Berkman's, starting from building our tower block and all those physical structure we present in this campus is directly or indirectly connected to the faculty members of the Syriac department. So I remember all those stalwarts of that Syriac department in the beginning. See, when I took the charge as a principal of St. Berkman's College, I used to meet my staff members. And whenever I meet my staff members, I used to tell them that you should come up with the programs that would make visibility of your discipline. So many departments came up with the different kind of programs, but the first one came is from the Department of Syriac, that is none other than our Father Sujay. He came up with the proposal of conducting an international seminar. I was surprised. So fast he conceptualized that idea and came up with a proposal. And I also immediately accepted that proposal, and thanks to the God, our UGC has sanctioned money in that time, and so with confidence I could completely, I sanctioned the total money he demanded for organizing this program. So once again I congratulate for the Sujay for that proposal. And to share with you, see, recently our campus is vibrant. All the departments are actually engaged in one or other way, different type of activities. Some department came up with a program like guest visiting faculties. Some other are arranging workshops and quizzes, national and international seminars, etc. The last day, the guest faculty Dayabhai came to our campus, and she actually shared uh, her experience with regard to various issues of endosulfan victims. And it was well attended, and a well packed audience was there. So I think we are actually progressing in the direction of, or becoming a university. So in the university, this kind of learning process is going on. So in there, we are actually learn from the classrooms. In addition to that, they learn from by interacting with those experienced resource persons. So St. Berkemans is also offering that kind of learning experience in our campus. So thanks to the management, they gave me freedom to organize that kind of activities in this campus. And of course, we got fund from the UGC, and I really acknowledge UGC for organizing all this kind of academic activities in the campus. So to the point that the subject is Syriac, and the outside I said that I had no idea about this Syriac language except Syrian Christian, so that Syrian Christian came from that, I presume, from that link. But I actually thought over it, and few questions came to my mind. See, it is not that popular, and why it's so? And if it is popular among some group of people, where are they? Actually, when I read something about this Syriac, actually they are scattered all over the places, and they have lost their culture, they have lost their identity, etc., etc. And the second thing, the proud moment is, actually this is our father Rajiachan pointed out that it is a language spoken by our own Jesus Christ. So that aspect is there. So I analyzed this in different way. This international seminar can give an opportunity to discuss the social aspect as well as the bibliological aspects. So I think conducting this kind of international seminar, we do have an opportunity to discuss these kind of issues in this floor. And by exposing our students to that level, actually they are learning in a different way. Of course, they learn this Syriac language in their classrooms, but organizing an international seminar, their activities are involved in this learning process in a different way. So I hope in this coming 2-3 hours, the experts in Syriac language will discuss various aspects of this language, and they extend their knowledge level to another, or knowledge to the knowledge level to the another stage. I hope and I wish all success the Department of Syriac, particularly the organizer Sujay Achan, and I sincerely thank our patron for giving a keynote address to this historical moment, and thank you once again.
I understand that it is a proud historical moment for SB. For the first time in the history of SB College, an international seminar is organized on Syriac language, especially Syriac in India. Secondly, I understand that it is the inauguration of an international seminar in the name of the most venerable, our beloved Kavukattu Pidava. So in all this sense, it is a very remarkable, a historic moment. So whenever generally we hear about Syriac language, even these days I was hearing it from the college community, there is an international seminar on Syriac language. The first reaction is Is it not a dead language? That is the first reaction we hear. I don't know what all answers the present seminar is going to give for that. How do we call a language dead, etc., has to be redefined, I think. No language ever dies, we know. Literature never dies, language never dies. Probably it gets transformed. And even when it ceases to be a spoken language, we know that the written language remains there, the literature remains there. As far as Syriac language is concerned, it is, I would like to say that like Sanskrit for Indians, for Christians it is a sacred language, which must never be allowed to die. The seminar should think about steps to revive its importance or to keep it alive in our campus or in our campuses, in our families, in our higher studies, etc. In such a way only we can keep the language or to keep it alive and to prevent it from being a dead language. I hope that this seminar will serve that purpose. About the Syriac department here, of course we had eminent Syriac professors here, very reverend fathers. I had the good fortune to work with the Syriac teachers or the priests who taught Syriac from Father Kanjirathimuttal onwards up to the present Achan. And I have found that they are not merely Syriac teachers. They keep in touch with all the departments. They do extra work for the college. So I place on record my sincere thanks to all the reverend priests, reverend Syriac teachers who have contributed to the development of this college. And I conclude my words with the hope that as a language, it will go on living, and such seminars will help in exploring the greater possibilities of this language. As it is said in this brochure, Syriac at a glance, a huge amount of Syriac literary wealth, both spiritual and secular, remain unearthed. That was a point that really struck me. That is the relevance of this seminar, I think, because there are much unexplored areas. And when people come forward, when scholars come forward to explore these unearthed areas, the language will come back to greater vitality. So let us hope that this seminar will be fruitful in that manner, that it will be a step forward in preventing it from becoming a dead language, and we all will together declare at the end of the seminar that Syriac is of course a beautiful language and it is going to live forever, and it is going to be used by us, if not in our spoken language, in our prayers, in our studies, etc. It is going to be used. So I thank you all the lovers, all the ardent lovers of Syriac language who are present here, and thank you very much for this opportunity given to me. I wish this international seminar all success. Thank you.
happy to be here for this inaugural session of the International Seminar on Syriac in India, a historical appraisal and a futuristic overview organized by the Department of Syriac. Benissa said that there is an impression, people say that it is a dead language. But I disagree with that. It is not a dead language. It is still living. A few years back, I visited Canada, and in Canada there is a diocese, the Chaldean Church, Catholic Chaldean Church. There is a bishop there, a Chaldean bishop there, and I think they were about 10,000 faithful of the Chaldean Church in Canada, and they speak Syriac. I met the community there in the bishop's house, and they were speaking Syriac. So it is, and also in different communities there, in people in Israel, there are also people who speak this language. So it is not that language in that sense. And besides, it is very active in the liturgy. So that is also, we are also, liturgy is also life. We are living liturgy. So if we use a language liturgy, that's a living language then. We are living there. So we need not think that it is a dead language. If it is totally dead language, then we have to bury it. So that's so if dead, it is supposed to be buried. But it is not a dead language also. And another thing is that it is a very ancient language. At least some say it is the most ancient language, or at least it is one of the most ancient languages. It belongs to the Semitic group of languages. And Semitic originates from Shem, the son of Noah. That is a prehistoric time. So from that time, Semitic originates from Shem. And Aramaic comes from Aram. Aram is the great grandson of Noah. So these are all the Semitic languages. And Aramaic and Syriac are the same language. In the development, the name changes, different names, but the language is the same. And Hebrew, biblical language, Aramaic is also biblical language. Hebrew originated much later than Aramaic. Aramaic originated first. After centuries late after, Hebrew originated. So these are the history of these languages. So it is the one of the most ancient and biblical language. It is a language of revelation. It is a language spoken by even God. God made man, Jesus, his disciples, Mary, the mother of God, all spoke this language. Aramaic was the spoken language, mother tongue of Palestine, even before, till about 200 or 300 AD. From the BC times, Aramaic was the mother tongue of Palestine. So when Jesus was born, when the church was organized, church was founded, Aramaic was the language of Palestine. So it is the original language of the church, Christianity. Original language of Christianity is Aramaic or Syriac. The original culture the original features of Christianity are in the Syriac tradition. In this we find in the Syriac tradition. So that is the importance of Syriac or Aramaic. A great scholar, Sebastian Brock, is Anglican, a great scholar of Syriac. He says that this Syriac, especially in the East of Syriac is the is closely connected with the Aramaic, East Syriac. More than the West Syriac, East Syriac is closer to Aramaic language, the original language. And he says that the tradition of the East Syrian tradition, or the Semitic East Syrian tradition, is significant, relevant for all other traditions, all other Christian traditions. There are many common features in the Syriac tradition, which are relevant to other traditions also, because it's the most original. So these some general information. I am also immensely happy and delighted that the very same department is also organizing a memorial lecture in the name of the servant of God, Matthew Kavugat, the first Metropolitan Archbishop of Changanasheri. I wish all the best to the academic activities of this department of Syriac, and in particular to this seminar and the memorial lecture. My sincere and special appreciation to Reverend Father John Plathanam, the chief organizer and promoter of this significant venture. This is the first symposium ever conducted on this subject in this Autonomous College. So thank you for your initiative. If I am, it was mentioned here, since 1938, Syriac has been offered as an additional language to the students of St. Berkman's College. And Father, it is already mentioned from Joseph Hadrian, TOCD was the first Syriac lecturer. So after that, many followed. The next one was Archbishop Matthew Kavugat, the future Metropolitan Archbishop of Changanasheri. Today in this inaugural address, I would like to share with you the historical presence and significance of Syriac in liturgical, spiritual, ecumenical, and ecclesial milieu of India. I cannot go into the details on that is not expected of me. At the command of Jesus, his disciples set out to different places to proclaim the good news of salvation to mankind. They proclaimed Jesus, the risen Lord, as a Savior in the light of their personal conviction and experiences of Jesus, and against the background of the Old Testament prophecies fulfilled in him. Sufferings, persecutions, imprisonments, or any hardships, even unto death, could not prevent them from proclaiming the gospel of Christ and bearing witness to him. According to history and tradition, it was Thomas Liha, to use the Syriac terminology, Thomas Liha, who received the divine mandate to go to India to proclaim the gospel of Jesus. It is natural that Thomas Liha spoke Syriac as it was his mother tongue, as well as of Jesus and the whole Palestine, the original milieu of Christianity. Already there were Jewish settlements in South India, especially in Kerala, who spoke the Syriac language. It was the trade language at that time, trade language. All over the world, trade. Almost perhaps like English today. Aramaic was the trade language. it is a fact that long before the time of Christ and also during the first centuries of the Christian era, South India had commercial relations with Mesopotamia and other countries of the Middle East, where Aramaic was spoken. Kranganur in Malabar was a famous port known as Musiris or Shengala by the Romans, Persians, and the Greeks. Another interesting fact is that one of the edicts of Ashoka is in Aramaic. It informs us about the importance and influence of this language, and the people who probably used it were the Jews in India. According to tradition, the 7 communities or the churches, as we call, founded by Mar Thomas Liha in India, were in or around the then existing Jewish colonies. This fact too might have encouraged Mar Thoma Christians or Mar Thoma Nasranis, which is the traditional title, Mar Thoma Nasranis, to use this Syriac language. The Mar Thoma Christians who received their faith from Mar Thomas Liha grew in their faith in association with churches of Edessa, which was the first Christian country. Edessa was the first Christian country. With the churches in Edessa, Persia, and Seleucia Ctesiphon, who also received faith from Mar Thomas Liha or his disciples. The Mar Thoma Christians were Catholic in faith, Oriental in liturgy, and Indian in culture. After the post-apostolic period, the Church of Mar Thoma Christians had their bishops appointed by Chaldean patriarchs of the East Syrian Church till the end of the 16th century. The Chaldean bishops encouraged the use and popularization of Syriac language and the East Syrian rite of the Mar Thoma Nasrani Church, which they wanted to protect and live as their most precious spiritual patrimony. The Synod of November of 1599 bears testimony to the fact that Mar Thoma Christians used to recite prayers in Syriac. The Synod prescribed that the vicars should teach children catechism. They should be taught the sign of the Sleva, the sign of the cross, Lord's Prayer, Hail Mary, and the Creed, etc. Yeah, and the Synod stipulated it should be in Malayalam and not in Syriac language, because at that time it was not very common here. Ordinary people they don't know much of this Syriac language. This suggests that though the people at large did not know Syriac at that time, possibly adhering to tradition, they recited prayers in Syriac. The St. Thomas Christians used the East Syriac, which they considered an inestimable treasure. The Mar Thoma Christians of old were passionately attached to this language spoken by Jesus and the apostles, and so a sacred language of revelation and intimately connected with their faith tradition. Nunes Barreto S.J., rector of the Jesuit College of Cochin, wrote in December 1st, 1561, that the St. Thomas Christians considered the Chaldaic language, Chaldean language, that is the Syriac language, as divine, and they would not give authority or credence to anything if it was not presented in that language. Even today, Syriac is the official liturgical language of some Oriental Christian churches in India. Parts of their liturgy are still sung in Syriac. Syriac music used in our liturgy has influenced Malayalam literature. Syriac words are taken directly into use in Malayalam. We have many names in Syriac, and that's also biblical. Um, some are commonly known and used. Others are used in ecclesiastical circles, and some are used with an addition of suffix or prefix to the original. The Antiochian liturgy uses several such Syriac words in Malayalam, and the faithful are quite familiar with them. The Syrian Christians of India have used the Syriac language in the liturgy from the very early times. Scholars are of the view that Jesus, we already mentioned, Jesus spoke Aramaic, although the language of the Jewish religion and Jewish teachers was Hebrew. Common people spoke Aramaic, and that must be the reason why Jesus used it. Syriac is practically a development of Aramaic. We can be legitimately proud of this language. The source of our theology, prayers, and sacred services and liturgy are all in this language. Syriac was familiar to the common man in the earlier times, but its use now is limited to the churches. Even in the churches, we now generally use the vernacular for worship. The heritage of the Syrian church, I believe, is fundamentally one of deep devotion and great depth of liturgical worship. We all have great pride in this wonderful heritage that we possess, and we are indebted to Maraprem, the church father, and who is called the harp of the Holy Spirit, and who is the greatest of the church fathers of Syriac tradition. When we open the prayer books, the liturgy of the Hours, Yama Prarthana, and so on, we find so many great meditations and prayers and songs written by that great saint. And so all of us belong to that wonderful spiritual tradition of devotion and worship. We have a wonderful wealth of great meditations and mystic experiences that are preserved in our tradition of liturgy, worship, and mysticism. I find also another important contribution which this seminar could make, and that is at the ecumenical level. Here, people have assembled from different churches of different traditions. When we look back to our past history, it is clouded with the events of bitter feelings and experiences, especially the various attempts of Latinization during the period of Latin rule that lasted for about 3 centuries over the ancient Syro-Oriental Christianity in India. This had inflicted a deep wound on the Syriac church, which still remains not fully healed. And I do hope that this seminar will give an impetus to create an atmosphere in which people of different ecclesial traditions could come together, share their rich heritage, and also explore how they can stand together, especially in a country like India, where there are so many challenges in the religious, social, and economic fields. I do hope that this seminar will contribute to promoting greater interest for the Syriac studies and for Syrian tradition, and also to bringing together the different Christian denominations, particularly of the Syrian traditions. My beloved priests, teachers, students, and all those who love Syriac, I shall be happy if this seminar will help to promote studies in Aramaic language and literature, which is an invaluable treasury of original and authentic source of Christian theology and spirituality. if we try in all sincerity together, I am sure success will certainly be ours. I have great pleasure now to inaugurate this seminar, and also to inaugurate the maiden Archbishop Mar Matthew Coward Memorial Lecture, which is dedicated to the memory of Archbishop Mar Matthew Coward, the first Metropolitan Archbishop of the Archparchy of Changanasheri, and the second Syriac lecturer in this college. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Your Grace, Ma Joseph Perindottam, Principal Dr. Jacob Matthew sir, dear Rajecha, Dr. Benny Matthew, Vice Principal, dear fathers, invited guests from Pale, Kanjarapalli and nearby places, and Marthama Vidya Niketan, and my dear teachers and my dear students. I directly turn to my duty. Syriac department in SB is like Vatican among the world nations. Though very eminent and eloquent, it does not have many things. Like Vatican it does not have its own security system. Switzerland provides it safeguards. Then Italy looks after its external security. Then pilgrims from all over the world provide the financial support. Like that, the Syriac department functions in the shade of Malayalam department in the name Oriental Languages. And all the 9 main departments of the college provides ample students for its functioning and helps from all other teachers who are not given the departments directly. Anyway, we Syriac department, though very small, experience the love and care of all. Now I bow my heart before God Almighty with a deep sense of gratitude for this endeavor and for His blessings. Mar Joseph Perindottam, it is he who is actually behind this seminar. From the very outset, in my mind, it was a small lecture for my students, first years and second year degree students. That was in my mind. When I casually talked to Archbishop, he told, make it in a systematic way. Don't make it a mere lecture. From there, it turned the nature of our seminar, and it ended up as a international seminar. So, for his guidance, we all know Archbishop Mar Perindottam is a man in love with Syriac. So he gave all supports. In between, he inquired about it, and with a busy schedule, we all witnessed what is his enthusiasm for Syriac. So if we have a patron like Mar Joseph Perindottam, our department will not be lean anymore, I am sure. So thank you, Your Grace. Our principal, Dr. Jacob Matthew, he is very interested and very encouraging academician. When I proposed a seminar, he gave wholehearted support. And he said, I don't know much about Syriac, but I will be with this endeavor. Thank you, sir. Our vice principals, Father Reggie, he is a man of ideas. In the beginning, they told. He gave all the impetus, all the ideas. When I met with this project, he gave all the ideas, what those should be invited, how it would be functioned, all those things. So, Father Reggie, thank you very much. Dr. Benny Matthew, a silent but all-seeing vice principal. He is with us with his encouraging words and presence. His face-filling smile is enough for working for hours and hours. Thank you, sir. I thankfully remember Father Mohan Mudantanjali for his financial support. We know without finance, everything will be in ideal world. To bring it to the realistic world, money is needed. So for his financial support and timely help, I thank him. I thankfully remember also my fellow priests, all those who are here. 10 priests are there in our campus. They together supported me, encouraged me, and gave timely directions, corrections, and evaluations on time. They 9 together formed a tie-up with me and worked for the success of this seminar. I thankfully remember each one of them. I also thankfully remember my shamashans here, seminarians. They were with me from the very beginning of this endeavor for doing all sorts of helps. Thank you, dear shamashans. Now I turn to the participants from Palay and Kanyarapalli. Our Father Tayil is there. He is a eminent Syriac singer of Holy Kurbana. Then Ipan is there. Amal is there. Amal is a very eminent and zealous Syrian. And then I also by very bowing hearts and head, I remember Father Thoma Polos. Usually he does not take such a glass and he does not take such commitments. But when I approached him, he wholeheartedly admitted it. Thank you very much, each one of you. Then I also remember Yamin, Prenu, Nathan Sar, English department, and our Anish, or those who gave technical support for this endeavor. I thank each one of them. Finally, but not with least, my students. They know to work with me is a heating experience. They cannot stand in peace. They were not standing in peace till now. I know. For dear students, my sons and daughters, thank you. Thanking each one of you and wishing you a fruitful time. I remain. God bless.